LAPD hasn't linked LA fires to MAGA, cause of blaze unknown. I kid you not. Updated today.
Oh, wait, what?
That's right. The story was just updated.
Wait, how is it MAGA's fault?
So check it out.
I'm more interested in that part.
They say several posts claim the LA authorities linked the wildfires to 3 Trump supporters. Quote, apparently LAPD are looking for 3 persons of interest, all tied to a MAGA website, who were spotted at the source of all 3 major fires. This might have been the opening salvo in Trump's war against any state he considers an enemy within. The post was shared more than 200 times in 4 days. False, they say. There's no claim that MAGA started these fires.
They were saying, this is MAGA country.
I got to say something. This may be the first time that I've seen, like, the left getting fact-checked on something this big. And by the way, Tim, I scroll down a little bit again, because don't bury the lead there. That's a Threads post. So they're actually fact-checking stuff that's which I didn't even know there were 200 people still on Threads, apparently. All 200 people on Threads.
Every single one of them
Every single one. It's 100% of the users.
Let me just tell you guys how dangerous Threads is a dangerous source of misinformation.
Radicalization.
It is. Mark Zuckerberg is personally spreading.
Just like how Parler apparently created January 6th.
That's right.
Is Threads still allowed on the App Store?
I think Threads should be banned and arrested.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg says that he's against, he's against misinformation now, and says that he's going to be turning over a new leaf. Zuck.
I totally believe him too.
What if since he came
absolutely believable.
Wait. Like, this is a good point. Like, Mark Zuckerberg says they're going to get rid of the misinformation. I think everybody should just flood Threads with based memes and be like, you can't do anything about it now.
Prove it. Yeah, I still. That being said, though, it's like, so let me get this straight. He donates like $500 million to Joe Biden's reelect in 2020 through his, through Zuckerbucks and this whole system that eventually CCL, which helps Biden get reelected. And then, so he dresses like a Philly boy and like lets his fro grow out and puts a chain on.
He's a little Dicky impersonator.
And now it's all cool. Like, now it's all just cool. Nah, man, I don't buy it for a second. I'm sorry, Zuck. Like, you actually have to do something. You have to do something to show us that you've turned over a new leaf. And so, like,
Dana White on the board is like,
okay. I mean, that's something, but again, that's still like, it's like it's a potentiality.
Right.
I want to see that something on Instagram or Facebook or Threads has actually changed.
If this was actually a pendulum swing for Zuckerberg,
because boards don't run organizations.
Zuckerberg would have come out and said, to improve the system, we're adding 10 conservative fact checkers to the website, giving them the ability to downrank news that they find to be incorrect. That would be the pendulum swing.
Right.
Zuckerberg coming out and saying, we're taking away the left's ability to suppress the right, and now everyone's on a neutral playing field, is him saying, we're not giving you anything at all. We're just going back to zero.
Which, by the way, I'm going to say something. Like putting someone on the board, like, that's like DEI for MAGA. Just because it's Dana White, right? It doesn't mean he's actually in charge of anything. Like, okay, he's on the board, right? Is anyone listening to him, or is anyone taking direction from him? Does he have higher fire ability? Does he have any actual control of? And that's nothing against him, by the way. And if he does, then great. If he does have this ability, that's great. But otherwise, it looks like virtue signaling to me without any actual action with teeth behind it. We believe in action around here. Action gets results. And I know we're going to see 100 executive orders from President Trump next week. By the way, I want him to, this is what I want him to do. I want him in the middle of his speech. So he's going to get up there. He's going to go on the dais. He's going to be on the balcony. He's speaking. What I want him to do is just turn around, and instead of addressing the people in the crowd, start addressing all of the politicians in the balcony that's right behind him, and then have Stephen Miller just walk up with his stack of 100 executive orders, and he just reads the title off, and Trump just signs it. Signed, 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 signed. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to be deploying the U.S. Army from Fort Travis directly to the fires in the Palisades, or wherever they're still, Brentwood, or wherever they're still going, and we're going to have them put them out immediately. Just do it. So start doing stuff immediately.
Adrienne Curry just says, I was remonetized on Facebook today. Congratulations.
Okay.
It's
like a trickle. It's like, a trickle. A thimble of your gratitude from the great Zuck. From the great Zuck. the wise and great. Oh, thank you, Lord Zuck. Thank you so much. Wow, this is incredible. No, I mean, like, we all know people that have been banned, demonetized, and censored on Facebook to the point where it's kind of a joke. Like, people don't even really go there that much.
Oh, yeah.
I long said Facebook was one of the worst for censorship because, like, YouTube was decent. Like, nobody was good Like X and Rumble are good, right? But YouTube was decently bad, but nowhere near the worst. TikTok is the worst. 100% the worst. Absolutely. We got banned on TikTok for having guests, not for breaking rules. That's our understanding. So it's like I think we had Myron Gaines on and said nothing that broke the rules, and they banned us. And like account gone, and we're like, okay.
Yeah.
Facebook was massively censorious on a wide range of political issues. So we'd literally be like, this video talks about gender issues, we'll get banned. YouTube, we talked about all of it. The worst case scenario, for the most part, was we get demonetized. Don't get me wrong, YouTube still censored, COVID and medical stuff, but Facebook was really bad. Let's see if Facebook improves. However, I guess the problem is Zuckerberg destroyed the platform. It's useless now. Yeah. It's useful for boomers, and I mean that with no disrespect, like boomers use it, but because of what they did in censoring everything, Gen Z and younger people went other places.
Right.
Yeah, I never go there. I have no desire to go back either.
I have friends like Tanya will, like my wife will. She'll go on there but she's also curated it in such a way where she really can only see what her friends are sharing. Mm-hmm. So she uses it for like friends and family, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's not something where she's like trying to build a following or something. Which I kind of wish I could have that.
Right.
Back, you know?
We made $310 on Facebook in the past month.
Congratulations!
Wow.
Look at that.
That's right.
We making it in.
I guess one of the biggest podcasts in the world.
Tim, now you don't have to sell the show.
That's right.
Folks. You don't realize this. Tim's been, as I drove up here, he was sitting out front with like a little tin can. He's like, please donate to Timcast.
On the weekends, we have to.
It's the only way. We're gonna lose everything.
I was holding up a sign saying, "Become a member at Timcast.com."
We're gonna lose everything.
On the weekends, we all have to
cow
rotate
looking at him, kind of funny.
The lemonade stand. We all have to sit at the lemonade stand.
Yeah, Phil's number one in sales, though. I don't know how he does it.
How do you do that? What are you putting in that lemonade, Phil?
A little caffeine. Something.
We're going to talk about that. Or something else that starts with a C.
But yeah, I do think it's funny that on Threads, they're pushing, like, has the left, they've done this, right? They make fake stories and then spread them around.
Yeah, it's called CNN. It's called Russiagate. It's called,
that's what I mean. Like, it's long been the corporate
CIA, the FBI,
Yeah.
There's the whole thing about
these posts came from CIA guys who don't work in the government anymore because Trump got elected. They quit.
Oh, right.
So now they're on Threads posting it, and MAGA's.
They're like,
the greatest threat is white supremacy.
So by the way, that would have been their like FBI report that was going to come out. By the way, I was joking. I was saying that for Kash Patel when he gets nominated, or Pete Hegseth, who by God should pass his confirmation hearing tomorrow. Let's give it up for Pete Hegseth, and screw the Wall Street Journal for coming after him at the 11th hour like they are right now. Screw those guys. Pete Hegseth is the man that the American people want. He's the man veterans want, and I don't play my veteran card very much, but I will play it for Pete Hegseth.
I have a correction. We actually made $1,740 on Facebook last month.
Wow.
Well, now we're talking, That's right. That's enough to...
Phil, you don't have to sell the cocaine lemonade this week.
I love what I do, though.
Feels like I drank it all.
I love what I do,
Keep selling it to this guy named Hunter B. He keeps coming up for Phil's lemonade for some reason.
He says he comes up from D.C.
No, but what they should do for the government, right, to have to set this up. So people are saying that, okay, the first thing you have to do is make them actually show up for their jobs again. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's big, right? Obviously we want that. So none of the teleworking. You've got to actually show up for your jobs. That'll get like 30% right there. And then if you want to get rid of like the next 70% of federal workers, maybe there's like a slim majority that'll stick around. They'll hold on by the skin of their teeth. Force them to say the Pledge of Allegiance every single morning in person in their offices, and in a group setting.
And they live stream that too.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we should all see it.
We should all have to see it so we can check to make sure that everyone's there. And if someone's not there, time cards, baby, time cards. Let's go.
Doge in there.
Let's go.
I strongly believe that that they should do all they can to move all of the agencies out of DC. I firmly believe in that.
Yeah, but it's an opportunity for investment in new areas in the country too, like Alaska
or Greenland.
Greenland. Trump wants to buy Greenland to put the deep state there.
Send them all back.
I can't fire you, but I can put you all in Nook.
See, what they don't realize is that the crystal fields are in the subterranean layer in Greenland, and so we'll need lots of crystals and lots of storage space for certain purposes.
Storing the deep state.
Certain purposes.
Storing them.
It's kind of like the Phantom Zone in Superman.
In all seriousness, though, we should occupy Alaska, as you had advocated for in the past.
Occupy Alaska. Look, if we're going to occupy anywhere, if we're going to invade anywhere, right? Don't invade Afghanistan. Don't, go for the lithium fields in East Tennessee or whatever it is. Go for Alaska. Just go for that. We should be using this as look, I went up there with Daniel Turner, who I know comes on here all the time, and he was showing us around. And look, there's some pristine, gorgeous, beautiful national parks up there. I love them. And by the way,
we can tear it all down to drill, baby, drill.
I love Mount McKinley. And we're going to be calling it Mount McKinley again, renaming it Mount McKinley.
Yeah, what do they call it now? Denali?
I don't know, because its name is Mount McKinley, Tim.
That's right.
That's the only name I care about.
Also Barrow. I think
Barrow
Trump should
needs to
mandate
come back.
Utqiagvik as Barrow again.
Yeah, because everyone's telling me that even like the Alaskans are like, we just say Barrow. Like we can't even
It was like a couple dozen activists who voted to change the name, and they did.
And so then,
them, I guess.
But then he took us up to Prudhoe Bay after that, and we're up there, and I was like, dude, it's all mud. It's all mud. It's ugly. It's just like muddy tundra, like whatever kind of land. But you know what's under that? You know why it's muddy? Because it's oil. Because there's oil, because there's this is Anwar. So it's oil, there's natural resources. And I kid you not, as we were driving around with Daniel Turner, this is a couple years ago now, and the whole thing about like the caribou, and it turns out that the caribou actually like the pipeline because it's warm, and so it gives them the ability to breed more. So their numbers have actually gone up since the pipeline was built. It's
they like huddle around it.
Go look at it. Oh, they do more than huddle, Tim. It starts with huddling. Is that what you call it?
That's what the kids call it these days.
Huddle it up. And as we were driving around, we actually saw a bunch of caribou like walking by the pipeline. I was like, did you plan this? Like, did you have like a trailer with some caribou and a walkie-talkie? Like, all right, Posobiec's coming around, pull them out. And no, they were literally frolicking around this thing. And it's like, this can work. This can totally work. Also, on that trip, I did get the chance to, I was going to jump into the Arctic Ocean, and he was like, Jack, I have liability issues. But I did get my hand in. So that's an important one to get. So we got to do that.
It was I think negative 30 something like when I was in Alaska, and that's nuts.
Yeah.
Standing outside for even like a minute and icicles start forming everywhere on your face. Yep. Because as you breathe, it just starts freezing. Right. Like the humidity goes to your eyelashes, and then you get just ice on your face. It's nuts. And I saw the Aurora Borealis. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.